It's just Brandoning all
He's
over
now
our
he's calling me out by name now. What the hell does he want? What was he saying?
He said, "What say you, Richard, to this?"
Okay, yeah, alright, I know what that is. It's okay. It's just Durarara. It's alright. No, that's not Durarara. That's a different thing. Doro de Doro. Doro?
Doro?
Whatever. It's a man with with a reptile head that really likes gyoza. Don't worry about it.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. That manga's weird. Anyway.
Is it really? All right, sturdier but less stylish. Let's go.
Is a kind of style. All right, my fucking look at the text barely fits in it.
Oh, and it'll get more. It's great.
Taped up Eldritch fine China hat, helmet,
Pants. And your fireproof, warm, riveted, electrified mildewed jeans.
and my disposable sharpened fairy star wand.
It's great. Why do you have that on as your ring?
I don't.
I mean, it's actually probably fine.
That's probably no. It's okay for now. Things try to do big damage. I'll be fine.
It's true.
Relatively fine.
It's true.
Oh my god.
You got +2 damage to Parmesan missile.
Yeah.
You got that, which is okay. The friendship ring. It's fine.
All right.
Your hat's sparkly.
Oh my god, it is.
So-
it's fine. You see.
Yeah, so you're missing a key still.
I am.
Is there a room? Oh, you have. Did you? Yeah. Check in here. A man's voice says, "Ralphie, why on earth do you keep flushing this fish zester down the commode? Commode?
Mode.
Have you been possessed by some otherworldly or demonic force?" "No, Dad. I just thought it would be a funny place to hide it." That was the reply. I think you already found that key.
I did already find that key.
How about
Yeah,
basement?
Huh?
Basement. You
Yeah.
haven't been able to go to the basement yet. It's a third door. That's outside.
Oh.
That's outside again.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, it wasn't flooded. It's flooded. Right?
Yeah, you need some kind of breathing apparatus.
I have a breathing apparatus. Wait. Not that. I don't think that's too stupid to count. But let's see.
No, it's probably something you find here.
Okay.
Okay, put radio in the kitchen.
Oh.
You hear a woman's voice saying, "Please be careful around the kitchen knives, Rebecca. They're very sharp. I keep them that way because, counterintuitive though it may be, dull knives actually cause more accidents."
That's actually correct.
"Yes, mother, I understand," the little girl's voice replies.
That's correct, actually.
Check the... Did we check the radio in the garage?
No.
A woman's voice gasps, "Oh my, Clarence! Why are you lying on the floor under your workbench? Are you alright? Were you attacked by a burglar or an axe murderer?" "Calm down, Agnes. I'm fine. I'm just practicing changing the oil in our car." Check under the bench. Hey, we got the key.
Loose. All right.
This is my favorite place so far.
It's pretty all right. Oh, so
Yeah. The left door? Huh. Alright. And you got a perfumed wedding veil.
the veil in here. And beyond the veil, nothing.
Alright. You hear a man's voice. Oh, we already did. We got all the voices.
All right.
Moxie and stench armor accessory. You know, you already have better stench armor. But the Moxie would be pretty good if you were a
All right. How
Moxie.
many padlocks do I have? Yep,
You have
that's
11.
all of them.
Yeah. Back to the boxcar, but not before an encounter. Grr? What? What?
Oh.
You wander over to see what's up. Alphonse has discovered 2 burly men dressed in leather and furs burying the body of a dead caterman. While considering the swampy ground, they're less burying it, more just covering it in mud. Now, I know what this looks like.
Looks like you killed a gator man, and I don't think my friend is happy about that.
Kill Gator Man? Grah, who cares? Gator Man loser. It's worse. Look more.
Or
You take a closer look at the body of the Gator Man before it disappears into the mud. He's dressed in some kind of uniform with an official-looking cap and epaulets and a canvas bag. Kill Mailman! Crime biggest! Destroy! The two men step away from the mailman's remains and into a clearing where they set up camp at a small trading post. One of them eyes Alphonse murderously while the other seems strangely serene.
step forward, declaring and confront them. How they killed the mailman? They have to pay.
The plod splosh of Alphonse's reptilian toes draws all activity in the clearing to a close. You need 7 moxie for this. Oi! No gators! Get back! Get out of here, gator! Go on! Grah! Not boss, shut up. You could retreat and come back with more moxie.
Yeah, I'm gonna retreat.
Alright. Time to increase your moxie to 7 by attaching this perfumed wedding veil. Now go back in. But not before. A distraction! You briefly lose track of where you're going because all of these big wet trees look the same. You stumble across a ramshackle dwelling bearing the unmistakable aroma of illicit distillation.
I will get that. I do want some moonshine. But we have a mailman murder to
Alright, let's go.
defend Alphonse. Alphonse is my business associate. Anything say to me, say to him.
Anything, eh? Even the swear words.
Yes.
Lucky for you, I don't know any. When I was a lad, the Vicar blacked out all the swears in our dictionary.
Agreed. Alphonse, stay. Let's see here.
Careful of him, he might tan your hide. The man observes you with monk-like serenity.
Hi there. Looks like quite a trading post here in the swamp.
The other man shakes his head. Paul can't speak.
Can't or won't?
Don't.
How'd you become mute, Paul?
Now, that's a very personal question.
Sorry.
It ain't a problem. It's just a hobby of mine to make observations of the nature of questions. Basically, Paul lost his tongue in a poker game.
That's awful.
Back home, we play our strip poker games high stake, or not at all.
Damn. Can we trade? What you got?
Sharpening
crowbar.
stone, sharpening stone, sharpening stone, sharpening stone. Gatorman skin pants, pickaxe.
A lot of shit. Is that a weapon or a thing?
That is a weapon, but it's also a crowbar.
Crowbar.
Yeah. Condensed swamp gas. Hold on, hold up.
Whoa.
Magical weapon attacks by 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
Gator
that.
punch. You don't need that. Gatorman skin pants.
Those, if I need more muscle.
Yeah, I'd buy it. You have money. Impregnable tack. Physical armor by 3 food. Seems good.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, you're gonna want that pickaxe.
Yep. Okay, bud.
I'm fine, but you're gonna want to read that again.
Oh boy.
You could buy one. You could buy just buy it all. Buy the duct tape. Buy the sharpening stones. You have the money. Buy everything. Screw it. Anyway, now go to the pickaxe. A tool favored by miners for breaking rocks, removing hot dishes from ovens, trimming hedges, kneading dough, and catching baseballs.
Okay. Anyway, I now that I bought all your shit.
A sack of genuine leather. It's empty. It's only made of genuine leather. It does not contain genuine leather. The ambiguity is clear now, and the person responsible for the original description has been sacked.
Damn.
Wouldn't go in there if I were you.
Why?
Might not like what you see.
Side. That broken tape.
That egg is busted. Ugh. Told you it weren't a pretty sight. I was looking forward to eating that egg all day, and come dinner time I only went and bloody dropped it.
Sorry.
I bet. Something to say about the dead gator? Swear I didn't know he was a mailman. Would never intentionally hunt a mailman.
Killing a mailman. Why am I killing a mailman? Who are you? I never killing a mailman.
Ah, hell, me and my big mouth. He was in my way, you understand? Had no idea he was a mailman. Never would have touched a mailman if I'd known. And my brother, he had nothing to do with it, understand? I swear it.
Why am I killing a mailman?
Listen to yourself. Can't you tell? Can tell you ain't a hunter, all right? Most any species is fair game for hunting, but mailmen are protected by international treaty. Last hunter I know who hunted a mailman got pulled up by the International Criminal Court and mailed to Mars.
Oh God, never heard of the International Criminal Court.
No reason you should have. So far, its jurisdiction only extends to the hunting of mailmen.
Okay, who are you?
Me? Ain't much to my story. I'm a hunter, name of John Leathers, and if you can't tell from the accent, I'm from Albion. As a toddler, I hunted small game like mosquitoes and gnats, then moved on to foxes and voles and such as I grew up. I like the game over here, but I've got my eye on the greatest hunt of all. Big picture. I'd like to build a ladder to heaven so I can hunt the dinosaurs.
Damn!
That's more of a 5 to 10 year plan, though.
Damn, that's ambitious. I don't think that's how either ladders or heaven work, but I guess it's good to have it. Wouldn't it be more practical to build a time machine?
Now that just sounds ridiculous. John wipes his brow with the blade. Phew. Never been asked so many questions before. You could talk the talk, alright. What about hunting the hunt? I got work that needs doing, but I ain't going out while they're searching the swamp for the sod who killed their mailman. They find me, I'm dead. You don't have to be a leatherman to know which way the wind blows.
Sure, I'll hunt for you.
I love a positive attitude. And it's an easy job. 5 gator hides, that's all I need for my my project. I even know a place you might find them. Scoped it out myself, see? Easy job, pays well. Couldn't be easier unless it was a smaller number of gator hides.
What's this project you're talking about?
Not so fast. Need to know I can trust you first.
Alright. I guess I'll go.
What about the Tower of the Pyramid of Beans? Hunter's beans. A veritable hill of them.
Wave to him. Hi, hello again.
Paul acknowledges you with a phlegmatic nod.
Trying to get yeah, gross.
Phlegmatic doesn't mean full of phlegm. It means calm and controlled.
Say that then.
Paul acknowledges you with a calm and controlled nod.
Thank you. I don't know words. I'm stupid.
Anyway, back to the boxcar before we get double distracted by the other stuff.
God damn, I was straight up. I gonna go to the moon.
New distraction, go!
God damn it!
You find the arm of a traveling salesman sticking out of the ground. Given the condition of the arm, it seems like the body it's attached to must have been down there for quite some time.
Grab the ring.
The ring slips easily off the arm's finger because the finger is both wet and withered with decay. One or the other would have sufficed.
Give the arm proper burial.
Every time you try to dig, the hole immediately fills up with water. You decide to decide to use the shovel to press the arm down below the surface and call it a day.
It's a day. Begin every combat shielded. I don't know what shielded means.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, let's see. Hi, Pepperidge.
Hello again, Danny. What can I do for you?
Found father's padlocks.
Thank you so much. You didn't run into my grandmother by any chance, did you?
What? No? Supposed to be there?
No, that would have been highly unusual if she had been, considering she died more than 30 years ago.
Here's your padlock.
Marvelous. Once I've reaccustomed myself to standing on level ground, I'll be on my way.
There's a big hobo camp near Ocean City that you might be interested in. I can give you directions.
Ah, excellent. I think I will head that way now. Perhaps I'll see you there?
Alright. His smoke is still there. Okay, now it's gone.
It's the last thing that remains of a man after he's gone.
Yep.
Distraction! Swamp gas clouds the sky. The heavens alight with strange new constellations, unlike any you've seen before.
Nice, but I got places to be.
Hey, you got XP? This rotten stump is crawling with worms, and the worms are crawling within it. You got XP?
We have a lot. Let's go. AP! Go. Limberness.
It's a ramshackle cabin, or maybe a ram cabin shack. This pot has been demoted from soup to chamber.
Gross.
Whoever was here must have left in a hurry. There's still a poker game in progress. You draw cards until you beat all of the hands that were left on the table, then you collect your winnings.
Hell yeah.
There's a spare car tire leaning against the wall here. The tread pattern on this tire identifies it as a Lincoln, which sounds like an impressive piece of deduction, but honestly, the top hat and beard were a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
A couple of soggy bedrolls. It's full of ashes, but they're cold. Seems like nobody has been here for a while. A rusty old fire-powered still. You're pretty sure those aren't meant to be operated indoors. There's nothing in this jarro.
Yes. Alright, I guess that this will be a thing later. What's around here?
Yes.
Take this, all of these tracks that
There's a chaotic mess of animal tracks leading in all directions.
close to look.
You identify several sets of tracks leading away from the cabin. Hey, one of them matches the tread pattern of that spare tire you found. You follow the tire tracks until you lose track of them in the water near a partially submerged cave.
Back to the cabin. Footprint?
There are several sets of tracks leading away from the cabin, including one that matches the tread pattern of that spare tire. Wait, what? You follow the human footprints. They lead to, let's call it an improvised latrine a few yards away from the cabin. You decline to investigate further.
Cat track, badger track. You cat!
You follow the cat tracks, but after a few minutes they lead up a tree you're not willing to climb. I guess if I'm being honest, it's really a tree you're not capable of climbing. I was just trying to preserve your dignity.
Damn. Duck.
You follow the duck tracks, which lead you through a lengthy sequence of locations that are of zero interest to non-ducks.
Horse?
You follow the horse tracks to some water, but you don't drink it. I mean, why would you? It's nasty swamp water.
Fair. Oh.
You follow the cow prints to a big hole in the ground next to which lie a pair of shoes with fake cow hooves nailed to the soles.
Huh. Badger.
You start following the badger tracks, but after a few minutes you realize that this course of action might culminate in you encountering an actual badger, so you change your mind. Terrifying animals. Just absolutely the worst.
Alright. Wooden sandals with carved hooves on the bottom, wearing these would be a real fashion thing. Specifically, I don't understand fashion. I like it. Let's go. All right. I'm gonna find you. Move.
Distraction! Ah, find food. You take.
Oh, thanks.
You got a shadow pickle.
Where'd you find this?
Hole.
Could you elaborate?
No, shut up.
All right then.
Another one of those Gatorman campsites. Maybe the one who kidnapped Charles came this way? This campsite is similar to the previous one. A lot of Gatorman tracks and a lot of discarded trash. These Gatormen sure are slobs. You also find a 15th, 16th inch combination wrench labeled CW. For combination wrench.
These fractions, look at.
Looks like you're on the right track at least. What? 15 16ths is...
I know. I'm talking about real life.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You got Charles' other wrench. This must be referring to the deeper water that's way over to the right. He caught a wetland nasty bass. Slithering pukefish.
Oh.
Swamp honey.
What?
Swamp honey.
Sticky glob of honey made upon a fetid swamp monument.
Flora.
Flora, my bad. The hell?
Weird shadow pocket. Or pouch or something. Get that XP, let's go!
Yep.
You also just got a shadow pickle.
I know. No.
You don't need more shadow food. This...
What's that shadow pickle do? Oh, it's the box one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing then. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. I got the...
Yeah.
Nothing. So, fine. Boring.
That's how you make a shadow pickle.
Okay.
Go back to the truck. Damn you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This Ford truck has been fitted with Lincoln tires. That's a little ominous.
Dun, dun. Don't worry about it. Shut up.
A couple of shady-looking characters furtively skulking in this cave.
Octopus. Hi?
Hi. Hello.
Who are you guys?
We're the Schlitz brothers. I'm Clem, and... Shut up, Clem. He might be a profi. Oh. I ain't Clem. And I ain't Jarvis.
Relax, guys. Not a Prohibition 8 pass through. My name's Danny.
Whew, that's a relief. Sure is. Good to meet you, Danny.
What are you two doing in this weird cave?
Got ourselves in a right predicament, is what we've done.
Wow.
Well, me and Jarvis been brewing up homemade hooch to sell. Been stashing it in the back of this cave here. But we got wind that the Profies was on our trail. We figured we better cheese it. Pull the old 23 skidoo, you know? Come to find a pack of them mean lizard varmints got into the hooch and they won't give it back. We was thinking we'd just take the loss and blow, but we hit another snag.
Yeah.
I went and locked the keys in the truck. Still don't get why you go and do a fool thing like that for. Told ya, it ain't like I went and did it on purpose or nothing.
I'll see what I can do.
You can get into that truck.
I'll get the truck first. Right. Yeah.
Yep, it's locked all right. You could probably jimmy the door open if you had a coat hanger.
In fact, I do!
You get the car unlocked, but your coat hanger gets ruined in the process. Ducks.
Now the food. Because I want food.
These Gatormen have gotten into the Schlitz brothers' stash of hooch. They're popping the bottle caps off with their teeth, guzzling down the contents, and just generally having too much of a good time to take notice of you.
Oh!
They growl at you menacingly, plainly too sozzled to just jump up and attack you. On the other hand, if you get too near their booze, that could change in an instant.
Offer to mix them. Say, are you guys just drinking that stuff straight?
Snort, drink booze, so?
Well, cocktail crafting isn't my specific wheelhouse, but I know a couple of recipes. I can mix you up some drinks that will go down smooth with your ethanol you're drinking now.
Taste good? Yes, mixed drinks.
Great. I think I have the ingredient here for one I call a Mickey Finn. That I'm sure you enjoy.
A dash of bitters, a splash of orange juice, and a light dusting of soporific toadstool spores later, the Gatormen are snoring loudly on the floor. And that's mixology, bruh.
Bruh. Can I just get a whiskey sour?
I'll fucking stab you. Good old vine sauce bit. I showed Richard that the other day. Anyway, probably best to let this drunk gator sleep it off. Hey, it's the hooch.
Grab it! Fine!
You grab a case since you're heading back anyway. Jarvis and Clem can haul the rest themselves.
Woo! Got some hooch! Hey, boys.
What is the wall of that cave sparkling? It's a vein of confident limestone.
Time to knock down.
No, you're getting advice.
Oh, shit. Okay, never
You
mind.
listen carefully to the stone. It gives you good advice and the materials with which to implement it.
Damn, I was wrong. I was trying to knock it down. It was just, yeah, sometimes the rocks have to talk to you know?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Hey, boys. Unlock the truck.
Jarvis nods kindly at you, but Clem is clearly fretting about their truck.
I got your truck unlocked for you.
Well, dang, that's a lot off of my mind. Thanks, pal. I'm driving this time. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, with the gator. Get your hoot. At least what's left of it.
You hand over the case you picked up. Well, heck, that's great news. Thanks, fella. We'll get to loading the truck in a jiffy.
Like you guys are good to go.
Sure does. Thanks a million, fella. You really saved our bacon. And how? We ain't got much to offer you by way of rewards, but feel free to grab a crate of hooch as a thank you.
Hell yeah, case of whiskey. Thanks.
They quickly load the rest of the hooch into the back of the truck and drive away. Unfortunately, you forgot to pay attention to how they got the truck through that weird tree hole.
Oh well, next time. Alright, the Gatorman Village.
But first,
God damn it.
about 20 copies of a missing poster are nailed to each tree in a grove of swamp cypress. Whoever's getting the word out, they've been effective, or at least comprehensive. Missing, Tom Chapman, inquire at Largemouth Bass and Sons. The face of a teenage boy is circled in an attached photograph. A portrait of the boy and his elder male relatives, each holding a largemouth bass proportionate to his own height. There's a similar poster right beneath it. Missing, Kathy Tracy, inquire at Largemouth Bass and Sons. What is going on at Largemouth Bass and Sons?
Let's go there now.
State your business.
Pleasure? Largemouth bass? You hear about the missing children? Largemouth bass.
Boy, do I know that song. If I didn't love those bass, I'd have quit years ago. Largemouth Bass and Sons, it's cursed aflate, stranger. Sales are down, children going missing. Bosses have stopped speaking to one another. So from one pescophile to another, take my advice. Don't stay long here.
What do you think happened to the kids?
If you ask me,
What did?
hell, they ran off. This life isn't for everyone. And Tom and Kathy, they never had the makings of a largemouth bass, deboner, or reboner.
Deboner or reboner?
That's what we do here. Mr. Tracy debones the bass and Mr. Chapman rebones them. Only then are the fish ready for sale at market.
Are you saying that you take out the fish's bones and then put them back in?
It's tradition. For generations, the Chapman has deboned the bass, and Tracy rebones them. That unique process is what gives our bass its distinctive tang.
Who goes on a display?
At Largemouth Bass and Sons, we fish largemouth bass, and most of us are sons.
Don't fall speak on it.
Between you, me, and 3,600 largemouth bass, Mr. Chapman and Tracy haven't been on speaking terms since Mr. Chapman was snubbed at the Academy Awards a few years back. They tolerate each other only because they both perform a function vital to the business.
Ah, yes, the rebound. Oh, I'll be going. This sign. Wait a second.
The sign identifies these waters as a site of historical importance.
Learn more.
This pool is the birthplace of a largest mouth Luke, a bass present at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Of Dependence. Wow. On August 2nd, 1792, he returned to his home waters to die, but his body was never found.
Fuck. Alright.
The guard eyes you suspiciously.
Alright.
I'll die for these fish.
Bro, okay.
Are the shotguns keeping you out, or something else in?
Who cares? I'm going inside.
Emptied, to magnify the misfortune of my stolen daughter.
When did this happen? When did this happen?
3 nights ago. I'm still in shock. I can't even muster the strength to close the safe.
I can do that for you. It's not hard.
Would you?
Sure.
Bless you.
Damn. Now I'm already in. Greeting. As a mariner, I hate being stuck behind the desk.
Excuse me. I make 6 figures a year behind this desk. And mind your manners. You're addressing Adam Tracy, Chief Deboning Officer of Largemouth Bass and Sons. Are you here about Kathy?
I saw some posts about the missing children.
That's right. 3 nights ago, Kathy disappeared along with all her clothes and possessions, the contents of that safe there, and the company truck. Oh, and the chap kid.
It sounds like she might have run away from home.
I'll excuse the remark as you don't know my Kathy, but suffice it to say, that's impossible. Kathy loves largemouth bass almost as much as assuming preordained roles in a multi-generational family business. No, Kathy would not simply leave home. There is much simpler explanation. Occam's gator.
Occam's gator?
A monstrous gator man, centuries old, 10 feet tall if he's an inch, which scales as blue as the deepest ocean. With scales as blue as the deepest ocean. He has 2 tails as sharp as razors, and he's not afraid to shave you. His appetites are insatiable. He'll strike at night and gobble up our guns, fish, tax returns, whatever, and now I fear my Kathy. I don't know what we did to provoke his ire, but that beast has bullied and bothered our business since my grandfather was in toddler pants. I sometimes think the swamp itself has summoned him up to be our tormentor.
My friend Charles, Occams have taken him too?
Certainly it's possible. I don't think the criminality of Occam's gator knows any bound.
If Occam's ate Kathy, aren't we too late?
Not necessarily. Occam's only handicap is his glacially slow digestion. Go ask Sylvester, a guard of ours. He was swallowed up by Occam's, but by stripping off in his belly and greasing his body in Occam's own fat, he was able to slither up and out of Occam's jaws while the great beast slept.
Okay, where can I find Sylvester?
I don't know. We had to terminate him for attempting to unionize.
Don't worry about it. Keep it in. Hold that pain in. It's okay. You're a millennial. You understand what that means. Just suck it in while the world burns, and everything's fine. Think I can get her ate Kathy?
Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of my eyes glazing over as you say these words.
That reminds me. So I got into the stage, I got into the stage. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
On the way out?
Yeah, they don't know I'm on the way out yet.
I guess, okay.
So it's more like, I get now? Yeah, I don't know how the conversation ended up that way, but it was just like, Molly, what's your hopes and dreams? What do you wish for this life? And she was like, I just want to be happy and comfortable. I'm just like, ooh, that's both the millennial answer I've ever heard in my life.
It's almost like, you know, got to get there first before you can start having other dreams. I'm sorry, Richard. Did I say something funny?
No. Mm-hmm. No.
I sure created a hilarious situation.
Oh.
Don't let it set in.
Oh, buddy, I live in it. Can't let it set. That's also what I said to her. I was like, but like, she was saying like, oh, I don't like it being silent. It's too much time with my thoughts. It's like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, when it's time I gotta think about it, I start getting sad. It's like, that's because you're a coward. That's a coward's answer, I said. And she was like, what? What do you mean? Like, I was just like, I'm always thinking about the sad. I'm molded by it. Lived it. The only way you're strong. She's like, Richard, no. Now I'm gonna ask questions.
Turned around and said, Richard, yes. That's what you did.
Yes. That's correct. Oh, excellent. Anyway.
Hey, Richard, let's talk about something else for now.
The game?
No. That's literally one of the options.
Oh my god, it is.
Anyway, but
okay, finder's fee. If I find her,
no, read that line correctly.
Is there a finder's fee if I find her?
300 meat and my grandfather's fishing rod. But I'm running the show, all right? Not Chapman. I know he's got a missing boy too, but you can't just involve a reboner in an operation like this. They're far too emotional. If you're dealing with me, you keep him out of it.
So what's so special about the fishing rod?
What's special about it? It can catch things that your scientists would say are impossible to find in water. How about that?
That sounds awesome. So it doesn't catch fish?
Yes, fish, but also impossible things.
That's awesome. Think about it.
Sure, I'll be here while you think, and my daughter will be dissolving inside the belly of a gator.
That's correct, sir. I'll be on my way.